Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and welcome to this subscriber replay courtesy of Desiatnik Pansy, or just Pansy, or Panties, depending on whether on who you ask. He is the Field Marshal of the World of Tanks EU forums, i.e., the guy on the forums with the highest post count. And when I say highest post count, I mean highest post count by far. He is here in the most majestic and glorious machine in the game. It is, of course, the Tier 6 Premium Heavy Tank, the mighty TOG 2. Couple of things to say, as Pansy is gracefully drifting into position. There will be the usage of some APCR ammo in this game. If you don't like that, I suggest you avert your eyes. Pansy is a member of one of the Dingers clans, which are a couple of clans on the EU forum who don't take the game too seriously, and I believe if you don't fire any premium rounds in a game, there might be a forfeit. I don't know exactly what form that forfeit takes, but knowing the Dingers, it's probably something to do with the gills of a very unfortunate fish. Anyway, you may be looking at this and thinking, what on earth is Pansy doing? I should probably point out, if you haven't already noticed, this is a game on steps, and Pansy is top tier. So what is Pansy actually doing? Well, Pansy runs XVM. Yes, I know. And he has seen in XVM that his team is... what's the word I'm looking for? Ah, yes. Utterly bloody awful. Yeah, I appreciate that wasn't one word. So, rather than move off and try and support them, he is of the opinion that the TOG can only do 14 kilometers an hour. His team are all going to be dead before he gets anywhere even vaguely useful. So what he's trying to do is set himself up in a position so that when his team inevitably die, the remaining horde of enemy tanks are more likely to approach him in a kind of one-by-one, you know, you go first, no, I'll go first kind of fashion rather than all at once. Now, I'm not necessarily saying I would advise this sort of gameplay, but that is what he is doing. And you can see the scoreline here is 1-6. And if Pansy had moved forward to be near his allied tanks over on this flank, he would currently be facing about 5-6 different enemy tanks, likely on his lonesome. So there is a certain quality to what Pansy is doing here, and there's also a certain sense of grim inevitability as you watch the scoreline on this game. And you might be sitting here thinking, oh dear, well, this looks not good. Well, that's true, but, you know, I'm showing this game, so there must be a reason that I'm showing it, and there must be a reason that Pansy sent it to me. And indeed there is. And we will get to it, but like everything else the TOG does, he will get to it in its own time. So the scoreline is 4-10. I mean, there are 5 of them left. I can't even count. There are 5 of them left on the friendly team. So far, Pansy has only put 1 damaging shot in. And you could say that, well, if Pansy had gotten stuck in earlier, then maybe the scoreline wouldn't be looking like this. And you have a point. Maybe it wouldn't. But it is as it is. This is the decision Pansy went with. Goodbye, Mr. Type 58. There are now 2 of them left, by the way. And having seen how this game goes, I very much doubt, if Pansy had gotten stuck in, I very much doubt that he would have, you know, maybe the scoreline would have been 8-14 instead. But I don't think, I think Pansy would have just been surrounded and overwhelmed. So at this stage, Pansy has done like 3 or 4 damaging shots. And indeed, the enemy Cromwell is saying a true Pansy. Yes, he is living up to his name. He's done like 2 or 3 damaging shots. He's got 2 kills for it, but he is currently outnumbered by 7-1. No, I lie. 8-1. Sorry. 8-1. A moment ago, it was 9-1. You like them odds? Yeah, neither do I. Anyway, like I said, Pansy has decided to get into a position where he encourages the enemy team to come at him one at a time. That was the plan. And so now we're going to see if the plan works. Now, he's top tier. The armour on the TOG is not fantastic, but at the end of the day, you do still have a 17-pounder gun at tier 6, and you do still have more health than most tier 7 heavies. In fact, you have more health than some tier 8 tanks. So, with those 2 shots, he puts the Chinu out of his misery. Jackson coming in to see what he can do. Ow. They were my tracks. Pansy is focusing down the guys who are on the lowest health, and you can see him moving back to try and minimise the number of enemy tanks who have a shot on him, reduce the number of guns. He actually gets to ram the Stug there, which is hilarious. A low damage roll, alas, leaves him on 6 health, but he finishes the guy off. So there's a top gun. Jackson. That leaves the Jackson a 3-shot, but Pansy is down to, well, now 300 health himself. This is looking really rather dubious. Ooh, is the Jackson going to put some more pain in? Yes, he is. Pansy is now on 14 health, outnumbered 4-1, just before he killed that Jackson. And of course the enemy are now actually capping the friendly base. There's a Hetzer over there, using the howitzer presumably, who completely flubs his shot. Pansy takes off half the guy's health, and then misses his next shot. Oh dear. Hetzer, oh no, that was a flubbed shot. Hetzer can kill Pansy here. This is decidedly dicey. There's the Hetzer. Cap counter's up to 81. Pansy manages to kill the Hetzer, and he has to do something about that cap, otherwise this is going to go horribly, horribly wrong, and he loads the APCR just to try and guarantee that reset. Hey look, it's a Hetzer. Snapshot misses, 98, 99, 100, and there's the reset. You couldn't time it better if you tried, and kills the Hetzer. Now, he did actually say that he forgot to switch back to armor piercing at this point, and I think, frankly, he can be forgiven for that. So now there's an enemy VK3601H as the last remaining tank on the enemy team. Pansy is on 9 kills, and still being a pessimist. I say still. And to give credit to the Cromwell on the enemy team, he is saying, GG Pansy, well done. On the enemy VK, the enemy VK is on 1 kill. So it's not as if he was AFK all game. There's an SU-100 on Pansy's team who's kind of cheering him on. And Pansy does say in chat he camped like that and he gets this. He didn't deserve it, but whatever. Anyway, this is not over. Pansy has terrible armor and is on 14 health. And there's an enemy VK3601H still left in the game. Now, the TOG has the camo rating of continental Europe, so you're going to see it coming from quite a long way away. I mean, this is a big tank. I mean, yeah, what are you going to do? The Sherman Easy 8 informs him that the VK has 200 health left, which means that's a 2-shot for Pansy. Now, the reload on the TOG is pretty good. Something of the order of 4 and a bit seconds, but that does of course give the enemy VK a chance. Even if Pansy gets the ambush shot in, that gives the enemy VK a chance to put a shot into Pansy, and it only needs 1 shot. HE would do the job, for crying out loud. And that would kill him. So this is still a very dicey situation. This is of course also contention for a Pools medal. Pansy is of course on 9 kills. 10 kills gives you a Pools medal, an award that I've never received. Pansy is of course already on a Radley Walters for 8 kills, which is nice. Now, Pansy can't really go out there and hunt this guy down. He's in a tank that speed maxes out at 14 kilometers an hour. Maybe if you're going downhill, 15. If you dropped it off a cliff, possibly 16. Yeah, what you gonna do? So I'm just gonna speed this up a little bit, because watching a TOG slowly and gracefully wait for an enemy tank is rather a tedious process. Pansy gets the ambush shot off and bounces. Of course he bounces, but he now knows where the VK is. Of course the VK now of course knows where he is. VK is likely a 2-shot. It is possible, probably, I can't remember the guy's exact health. It is possible that Pansy could roll high enough to one-shot the chap, but realistically, it's going to take 2 rounds to do it. Whereas, you know, someone sneezing on Pansy would put him out of his misery. There's the VK, 170 health. As I say, the one-shot is possible, but unlikely. Pansy puts in a snapshot there. Ooh, very lucky. Through the turret. There we go. Manages to use the Cromwell as cover, and finishes the game in style with that 10th kill. So let's go and have a look at the post-battle results for that strange game. So as it turned out, perhaps unsurprisingly, that was an ace tanker for Pansy in his TOG, along with Fire for Effect, Duelist, I think that's Hand of God. Is it Hand of God? Hand of God. And Bruiser, High Caliber, Defender, Top Gun, Kolobanov's Medal. He was outnumbered by more than enough tanks to get a Kolobanov's Medal, and a Paul's Medal. 1,573 base experience, 2,892 damage, and 10 kills. Easily outstripping the performance of any other player on either team. Yes, you could whinge and complain about the fact that Pansy was camping, and indeed Pansy does, in the game himself, but the result speaks for itself. 30 shots fired, 23 hits, 22 penetrations. Some of those shots were, of course, snapshots for that damage count. Even though he fired a few rounds of APCR at the end, he'd have made a 20,000 credit profit with a standard account. Premium account made a 45,000 credit profit. 100 base defense points in one of the most well-timed base defenses I have ever seen. Everything Pansy shot he killed. Spotted one enemy tank, I'm not really sure how. Blocked 135 damage with his armor, received 10 hits, 3 of which did not penetrate, so I imagine a couple of those probably went into his tracks, and managed to rack up 3,184 experience. And it's worth pointing out that that is not a daily double or triple or whatever, that was just for a win. So, a weird game there from Pansy in the TOG, but nonetheless, it's very difficult to argue with a Kolobanov's Medal and a Paul's Medal. Very, very impressive. And if memory serves, I think Pansy got the second... You noticed he had the first mark of excellence in that game. I think Pansy eventually got the second mark of excellence, and possibly a third, although I can't quite remember. I think pretty sure he got close to a third either way. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that outing in the mighty TOG. If you did, please feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel, and I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.